6 o'clock, the February Judiciary and Law Committee meeting. I believe everyone is here with the exception of Supervisors Belsky and Caro, who are both excused for the meeting this evening. We have Youth and Governance student Adeline, right? But we were missing Melanie. I didn't get an email from her, or call from her, so she's excused or absent, I should say. All right, now, are there any citizen comments? Any citizen comments? Okay, no citizen comments. Are there any supervisors' comments? Anything you would like to say? No supervisors' comments. Okay, chairman's comments. I just have one thing to say. Yes, Supervisor Belsky was planning to be here tonight. Fortunately, she had a relapse. I got a call from her husband this morning. She's back in the ER. And so that's why I'm here. She is, I don't know what the situation is, but that's why she's not here. So I wanted to let you know. Okay. Approval of the minutes from the January meeting. Did everyone get a chance to look at them? Okay, I have a first from Supervisor Morrissey. Do I have a second? Second by Supervisor Brookhouse. Youth and Governance?
Aye.
Okay. Committee?
Aye.
Okay. Motion carries. The minutes for January are approved. Okay. Here's a notification of medical services for correction. Was someone going to address this particular topic? Oh, yes. Okay. Yes. Thank
How's
you.
everyone doing? Happy 2021. So I don't know how apprised you guys are of the situation with our current medical provider, but they gave us a 90-day notice to separate services. So we are in the RFP process. We have it narrowed down to the final vendor. We're currently in negotiations with them, trading legal team notes, right? Some changes of some language of the contract. The last volley happened this morning. They sent over some language about that they didn't like with our contract, and then so they sent it back, and me and Jen Kopp looked at it, and Jen suggested, because there's some things in there that they weren't following our county sheriff's office policy or the county ordinances, so we just readdressed that, sent it back over. They just sent back a revision tonight that they accepted our changes, so we're just kind of waiting for that Matt Fleming to look it over to make sure that all the T's are crossed, I's are dotted.
What company is it?
Vital Corp. They're currently in Racine County, so
Vita Core?
Vital
Oh, Vital.
Corp. Yep. So
Okay.
that's where we're at with that. Take any questions if you guys have them.
Yes, Supervisor Morrissey.
When does the 90 days end?
They were being very rambunctious. They thought maybe March 1st they would be able to be in, but we thought we would have a contract signed by today, but it didn't happen. So April 1st is going to be the start date if we can get everything squared away.
And the current provider is gonna go through April 1st, so.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
So they're working with us. They're not just going to pull the plug until we're ready.
Okay.
They're giving us some leeway.
Okay. That's all.
Are we gonna see the paperwork on this?
Yeah, once everything's completed, it'll come back through.
Okay. Yeah. All right, I'll let Supervisor Belsky know. Okay. Any other questions?
That's a reason tonight. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Next, we have a resolution to approve the regular cabaret license for Jetty's Bar, 1660 240th Avenue in the town of Brighton. Captain Clickhammer.
Good evening. I have the Resolution is for Jetty's Tavern to approve their regular cabaret license. They've been under a probationary cabaret license and have had zero issues between us and the tavern in regards to calls for service or tavern violation. And I would recommend approving the regular cabaret license or Jet. It's Jetty's, right?
Yeah.
Move to approve.
All right,
Second.
okay, first by Supervisor Morrissey, a second by Supervisor Gray. Any questions or comments on the motion? Seeing none, Youth and Governance Committee,
Aye.
motion carried. Next, we have Resolution 10, to approve the regular cabaret license for, oh, I'm sorry, excuse me, Resolution 9, to approve regular cabaret license for Sit and Bull Tavern, 39600 Bloomfield Road, Town of Wheaton.
Yeah, this resolution is for approval of, again, the regular cabaret license for Sit and Bull Tavern, which is in the town of Wheatland, all the way out on the west end and all the way up. We have had zero violations during their probationary period. During the probationary period, there were a few calls, but nothing alcohol related. It was all, and they have a, elderly male fell a false alarm and, a counterfeit money attempt by a patron. All things we want the tavern to call us for. So if there are, no concerns with this, and I would recommend approval.
Any,
Move to approve.
okay, first by Supervisor Gray, do I hear a second? Second by Supervisor Brookhouse. Any questions, comments on the motion? No? Okay, Youth and Governance? Aye, Committee?
Aye.
Motion carries. All right. Next, we have, a resolution to approve the regular cabaret license for the Stumble Inn Bar and Grill, 1501 200th Avenue, Town of Paris.
Okay, this is again a, application for a regular cabaret license. They've been operating with their probationary cabaret license. I gave everyone an updated version of the resolution with the information that the cabaret license has, the probationary cabaret license has been in effect since June 18th, and they've had, no issues that are concern of law enforcement. And in fact, they've only had 2 calls since June. And one was a 911 hang up and one was our cabaret check. So, I would also recommend approving the regular cabaret for, sorry, stumble it.
Move to approve.
Okay, got a first by Supervisor Morrissey,
Second.
second by Supervisor Garcia. Any questions? Youth and Governance
Aye.
Committee?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion carries. All right. Let's see, we have a resolution to approve the 2025 Wisconsin OJA Multi-Jurisdiction Drug Task Force Grant, Southeast Area Drug Operations Group. Are we speaking to this as well?
Yes.
Okay, Captain Shinkack.
The CDOG grant, assists us in operating our, KDOG drug unit, as well as drug units through, several other counties. We are the agency that receives the grant, and we process and distribute, based on, requests that those other agencies turn into us. The grant is for $86,616, of which we will receive 53,000. I'm sorry, the grant is $211,792. And it will require a budget modification, which is detailed in the attached. This is a grant we get every year
Yeah.
and we operate off of the monies received here. It's a great benefit to the county.
Any questions about this particular grant? It is an annual one, yeah. Nothing? Anybody?
Move to approve.
Okay. The first by Supervisor Morrissey. Second by Supervisor Brookhouse. Any questions, comments? All right, Youth and Governance. Committee?
Aye. Aye.
All right, motion carries.
Thank you.
And let's see, what else do we have here? Now we have the sheriff. You're up.
Good evening. Hey, everyone doing, ladies? So I just want to go over, summarize some of the things we've been doing. It's been asked of us. So, try to read the handwritten. Staying very busy, as you all know. Operations. We talked about this last time I was here, the squads, the line of new squads we have, and fleet's been working diligently at getting those going. Pushing up our graphics on the newest ones that we have. More unfortunately, the traffic is a constant situation, as the committees know and the board knows. We've been working with Summers pretty heavily to try to slow things down on Sheridan Road and Green Bay Road, or the west end. That's always an issue, as we can get there to do laser and radar. Unfortunately, we do that as much as we can, pending calls. Corrections, as the chief discussed, the RFP, medical staffing issues with the medical situation was probably a big part of the changing. I think they're struggling. The organization that we're looking to contract with has other contracts in this region, so they're much more active with recruiting than the other companies. So they were really struggling in this area, and they weren't paying as much as this company does. So we have our fingers crossed. It looks very promising at this point. Our community programs, as you all know, DARE, we're heading into DARE graduation season here before the next class pops off before the end of the year. So just keeps popping up on my calendar, which is pretty fun to see the kids. We had a shop with a cop that was very successful. That was kind of fun for PR. The Comanche County Deputy Sheriff Association, they do that. They put that on, and we are all participating in that. So that was a good time. So our emergency response, unfortunately, our special teams have been very active. We've had some search warrants that we've gone out here over the winter. But unfortunately, when some of the challenges we're facing is this kind of a mild winter, we've seen a lot of problems with the ice, and you can't keep these people off of the ice. They don't care. So we, unfortunately, we had to send out dive members and boat stuff. We had a multi-jurisdictional effort to rescue some people. We had a couple of guys out of the ice, but one gentleman did lose his life. He drowned on Lake Elizabeth. That was a tragedy. We had to wait till the next morning to recover the body. But we did. It was absolutely a tragedy. So the community engagement portion, we have a new therapy dog. I think we talked about this last time. Did you see the pictures?
Yeah.
He's smiling. It's absolutely adorable. I was in favor of it, but didn't have any idea what effect it would have. So the morning that dog was picked up, one of the sergeants and the detective as the handler, Detective Barnard, he was very persistent wanting to take care of this dog. And I know him personally. They used to be a neighbor, and they're great. They have dogs. They've always had dogs, so I was okay with that. And he brought that dog to roll call in the detective bureau, and one of the detectives was picture up and pulling this dog, and he has the most happy, pleasant look on his face. And I mentioned to other people, so what do you say to this? Hey, trained observers, what do you see in this image? But I said, the dog, I said, have you ever seen him happy? He's just an intense cop. I forget his name, but he's really good at what he does.
Yeah.
And he had this like, hey, little doggy. So I think that dog's already being effective. We haven't named it. I'm not naming it. It's up to them. So they're trying to come up with a name. I didn't care for the name they came up with, but shut up and see how it goes. All right. Well, I'm not cleaning up after it, I'm gonna stand down. But the dog was donated by Blueberry Cottage Kennels. The woman was very, very, generous about it, but he's still a puppy, so he's just growing up, and then in a couple months, that's when they'll be able to start training him. Her, excuse me.
Is it German Shepherd?
No, it's just dog. No.
What Australian doodle?
Oh, Australian. Doodles.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just. What was, it's 20 pounds? It's gonna be about 20 pounds?
That, she's the runt of the litter, so 20 is max. So
Okay.
So not that big, okay, yeah.
And there have been accidents, so I'm glad it's not gonna get that big.
in line.
Right in his office. Dog's a hero. We are hosting a peer support training. It's being put on by the Department of Justice through us. We're hosting it. They're paying for it. So we'll be able to have a lot of attendees from the building in the area here, which we're really looking forward to that. The beauty of it, them funding it and taking care of it. That's, as you all know, peer support is something that we're very active. We're very cognizant of. We're trying to do a better job at that. Still on the community engagement, there's a chili cook-off. I'll get it all in there for you. There's a chili cook-off coming. Miss Molly, I don't know her last name, she puts this event on, and she has space this year on the interstate. She's trying to pull public safety together from both ends of the county. So it's chili cook-off on, I believe, February 27th at Parkway Chateau. So we're looking forward to that. Other than our numbers for staffing levels, that's all I have for you. If you want me to let you know those. We're 5 down at deputy sheriff right now. We have 4 in an active process right now, so that looks very good. We're only 2 down in correctional professionals, but we do overhire that spot, so that's not indicative of anything going well. I assure you, it's a revolving door. So it's a heavy lift for HR and for Captain Gonzalez. It's always moving. We're down 1 at the ARS, which is booking clerk, admissions release specialist, and then 2 administrative assistants, clerical positions, and that seems to be busy area as well. So that's all I have. If you have any questions, I'd be glad to answer them.
Any questions for the sheriff? Guys are full of questions tonight.
I appreciate you having me, and if you have any efforts, like I got emails today, so there's a lot going on in the world. So if you have questions about what we're up to, please let me know, because we're on a lot of fronts. I just came back from a gathering of sheriffs in Washington DC. So we
How'd
did a
that
lot.
go?
It was fantastic. It was.
Yeah.
I'm glad. I don't go to a lot of blows. I mean, I'm gonna go more, but I like to send the captain sometimes because, I just need Peter.
Yeah.
So, but the reality was that, because of what the event was and the people that were there, it was really effective. I'm so glad I went. So unfortunately, I have all kinds of new stuff to talk about. I don't think they need another initiative, but we're gonna talk about some upcoming stuff. So thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Sheriff.
Yes, sir.
Did you guys all get the data that was sent by Captain Kincamer? As the numbers and stuff.
Yeah.
County exec asked that we start sending that to you guys each month. So you guys will start seeing that every time our analyst puts together that report. It'll come to you guys also.
Thank you. All right. Are there any other questions, comments? All right, then, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
First by Supervisor Gray. Here, second? Second by Supervisor Brookhouse. Youth and Governance?